Hey, Josh Teague, Run T Farms, Evening Cattle Move here. Just wanted to give a little quick tip here. I guess as we got a little bit more conducive weather for cool season grass growth, even though we've been extremely dry, we've got a lot of biomass here, a lot of biomass. But I noticed about 10 days ago, I'll walk over here, that we just started leaving more grass behind than I'm comfortable with. I'll walk over here. This was which this has about 10 or 12 days recovery, so we're seeing some regrowth, but just more grass left behind than I'm comfortable with. We like to graze non-selectively, and we shoot to harvest all the grass that we can. So when I set up this next sale right here beside it, as I'm walking across now, I reduced what was on offer to them by 20%. So I cut out their daily allowance of forage by 20%. Cows still kept good and full, but we still, I estimated, was leaving behind a little more than I was comfortable with. So I took another 5% of that off of the total. So they now get in 4 breaks what they were getting in 3 breaks. We took a full break off, but we did just split it up into 4 breaks, and we've got our harvest efficiency back like I like it. And the cattle are doing great. Manure's looking great. And we've got that harvest efficiency. We could probably actually harvest just a dab more, but I'd say we're harvesting probably 75–80%. There's another fresh manure pat you can see. Very, very good. I just did a little quick math here. We're grazing at about 820,000 pounds of stock density to the acre. We were at about 615,000 pounds to the acre when our harvest efficiency kind of dropped down and the graze started to become just a little bit more selective. So we've got it up to about 820,000 pounds to the acre. They do move 4 times a day. This is the last move of the day. They've been in this break here about 5 minutes. But I want you to see the important thing here. See, that cow's rumen is full. It was full. Of course, this cow's standing on the wrong side, but here's a first calf heifer that's nursing a calf, and her rumen's full. All of these cows' rumen were full going into this last break of the day. So I can't stress how important that is. If you're trying to graze non-selectively, their rumen has to be full when you give them that last break. I struggled a little bit with that earlier on in my learning how to graze this way, and we're still learning, make no mistake, but they have to be full going into that last move. If they're not full, you need to go ahead and give them a whole nother break because you've not allowed them enough forage. So just a little tip there. Cows are looking great. We've got our harvest efficiency back up, and we've got the graze being pretty much non-selective at this point. So we know that if we keep those cows full and we keep manure consistency that looks like that we are doing all that we can for these cows. So their quality of forage is in excess of what they need, even as lactating cows, and as long as we can keep their bellies full, we should do just fine. So just thought I would take a second there to let everyone know, don't get so, we had our graze, 2 weeks ago pretty well nailed down. We was just cruising along. We was getting good harvest efficiency, good non-selective grazing, and then as weather conditions got a little bit more conducive for this cool season grass, it started growing, and we didn't adjust our paddock size there for about a week or so, and harvest efficiency came down. Cows were still full, didn't bother the cows at all. They just allowed them to graze a little bit more selectively. If you're not careful, they could graze so selectively with lush forage that they get the scours, and we don't want to do that. So there's some very high quality forage in here. There's some very old material, as you can see. This has been stockpiled all year, a lot of old material, but as you can see, when you allow them to eat all of that, it still makes a good ration. I mean, the manure pats are just looking good, not too loose, they're not stacking up, they're just about perfect right there. So couple of tips if you're trying to graze non-selectively. You have to really stay on top of monitoring your cattle and monitoring your graze. I do believe it's the very best tool out there for land improvement. We've just seen fantastic land improvement. We always try to graze at least 500,000 pounds of stock density, but the higher the better if you've got the forage for it. But you know, I will move that water tank up to here in the morning, and I'll set a back fence, so literally they're only on their area for one day, and so they're not putting too much impact on this area. Just a lot of good manure and urine everywhere you look, really good graze. And of course, we won't be back to graze this until it's fully recovered and ready to graze. So hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. As always, you can check us out online at runningtbeef.com. You can like us on Facebook at Running T Beef. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. And I hope everybody has a great rest of their Sunday and a great week next week.